March 26, 2024, a date that takes us back to a time when the world was in the throes of a global crisis. The COVID-19 pandemic was at its peak, countries were in lockdown, economies were crippled, and fear was palpable. But let's rewind the clock and revisit this significant day, not to relive the fear, but to understand the decisions that shaped our world. In the United States, then-President Donald Trump was making headlines with his controversial approach to the pandemic. Amidst the crisis, he advocated for an early opening of states during a teleconference with governors, a stance that went against the grain of the global effort to curb the virus through social distancing and lockdowns. This call for a return to normalcy was a stark contrast to the reality on the ground. Streets were deserted, businesses were shuttered, and the economy was gasping for air. But Trump's push for reopening was not without opposition, causing a rift that was emblematic of the tumultuous times. Trump's stance was not just about reopening the economy, it was about power and authority. Initially, he claimed total authority over reopening decisions, only to flip his position later and defer to the governors. This back and forth was a hallmark of his administration's pandemic response. But amidst the controversy, there were also efforts to provide relief. The Senate passed the CARES Act, a $2 trillion relief package aimed at mitigating the economic damage caused by the pandemic. The act was a beacon of hope in uncertain times, offering direct cash payments to Americans, expanded unemployment benefits, and financial support for small businesses and healthcare providers. Parallel to these economic efforts, there were also moves to bolster healthcare capacity. The USNS Comfort was deployed to New York City, providing additional hospital surge capacity, a symbol of resilience and resolve in the face of adversity. March 26, 2020 was a day of contrasts, a day of defiance and cooperation, of power plays and relief efforts. It was a day that encapsulated the complexity of the pandemic and the challenges of leading in a time of crisis. A day that will forever be etched in our collective memory as we continue to navigate the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's take a moment and reflect upon the events of March 26, 2020 and think, are we better off today or nah?